All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Snacks here. Uh, Today we're approaching things a little bit differently. So, as you can see, I've made two videos on the channel so far, but really, I had to think for a while, man, what is the kind of content that I want to make? So, for a long time, I've been an avid anime fan, right? It's something that I was introduced to when I was really young, obviously through the uses of coming home from school, seeing series like Toonami and watching, you know what I mean, the Dragon Balls, the Pokemon, and eventually growing up to learn what anime is and really take control of that and kind of explore more varieties. The tons of shows that I've seen so far and the billions of shows that are out there to continue to watch, it's really got me interested. So I've been getting a lot of very like different and variety of recommendations lately. So I figured I wanted to kind of share that with you guys. And one of my favorite brands of YouTube content is reaction videos as well as like reviews. So I figured why not try my hand at that? So here we are. I figured that the best way to start this would to go ahead and review all of the shows that I've seen so far throughout my life and kind of rank those before really kicking it off with our first show, which will be, I think I was recommending to watch Gurren Lagann. Super excited about it. Again, this is going to be, I think, a really fun series on the channel so far. So if you guys are interested, you know what I mean, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content. And thank you so much for stopping by. So here we go. We've got our four categories, right? And then we've got the bad ones. So S tier is obviously the shows that I've, you know what I mean, super passionate about, have rewatched multiple times, just think that there's almost nothing wrong with them. Absolutely incredible. A tier is a step down from there. Like A tier is they're very good, very well written, very good plots, good characters, but just something that's kind of doesn't have that same rewatchability as the S tier does. B tier is, you know what I mean, the solid shows, the good, the very like I would say starter anime that you would like, you know what I mean, tell your friend if you're considering putting them onto a show. And then we have C tier, which is the kind of bad ones. And finally, the couldn't watch more than 3 episodes. The shows that I immediately just went into and knew this was not going to work. I just had no interest in watching it. So to get started off, first up on the list, we've got Seven Deadly Sins. So this is a show that I actually started watching recently. Only a few months ago, I actually binged it very quickly. It was a solid show. I'll give it for that. I like the characters a lot. I love Meliodas. I love Ban. Escanor, obviously, I feel like is a fan favorite. You know what I mean? The disrespect, everything that happens, the plot of the story is very fun. But some things about it are just weird. I'll be real with you. The Merlin being a lolly, the kind of inappropriateness from Meliodas and whatnot, it kind of turns you off a little bit. The humor in it is very like kind of difficult to get into, while the action is amazing and like I said, the storyline is great. It's just it doesn't consistently hit every single episode. So I think I will put this right there in the middle to start off our list with a B tier. Next up, we have the Pokemon anime. So I really considered making this one into each individual series because a lot of them are very different, but because they also still have, for the most part, the same character, the same design, the same plot, I figured that wouldn't be as fair as some of the other things on our list, like once we get to Dragon Ball. So as far as Pokemon goes, again, we're always going to have Ash and Pikachu. We're always going to have that theme that Ash wants to be a Pokemon master. It's something that's been a very fun watch. This is probably my second or third anime that I've ever seen, and it's something that I continue to watch to this day. I always check in, and although I don't watch every single episode anymore, I mostly stick to the gym battles. It's still something that gets me extremely like hyped up and ready for a good time. But personally, without the bias of watching it as a kid, I think it's a C tier anime. Not to say that it's bad. It's just that there's more bad episodes than there is extremely like exciting and hype ones. You know what I mean? There's some very like lackluster seasons that just kind of bring it down, whereas to what you would expect. Because season 6, or if you would call season 6 with Kalos and season 4 with Sinnoh, absolutely phenomenal. Like those are some of my favorite moments in the entire show. Some of my favorite moments in anime. You can see my wallpaper later is it's actually like Ash Greninja versus Charizard, like one of my all-time favorite battles. But unfortunately, like the overall arcing of the series in general just doesn't live up to the rest of the shows on this list, so I wouldn't feel comfortable putting it any higher than our first series. Next up, we have Attack on Titan, which I think is a lot of people's, a fan favorite. It's incredible. From the very first episode, they capture you in such a memorable way. The stakes are incredibly high. The mystery of the series, it's just, It's so much fun to watch. All the characters are likable for the most part. My favorite being, Levi Heijo. Again, like now we're approaching the final season of the show. I can't think of one bad season that it's had through the 3 that we've seen so far. But I will say it's not perfect. While season 1 is one of the overall greatest adventures I've had watching a series, I would say season 2 does bring it down a little bit. And the beginning of season 3, to me, it almost got boring. There was a point where I couldn't watch it on a weekly basis any longer because it felt too slow. And then the second half of season 3 comes though, and all of a sudden, all that excitement, all of that rush, everything, the stakes again is just incredibly high. It really brings you to that, oh my God, I cannot wait to see what happens next. So with the overall arcing, I think I might have to put this one in the A tier, up in the A tier. It's just so good, man. Season 1 and the back half of season 3 are just so phenomenal. Like I wouldn't feel right putting that anywhere else. Next up, we have Beyblade. So Beyblade's another fun series where there's so many different arcings to it where you almost have to classify them as different parts, but because the main cast stays the same, the story for the most part stays the same, I wouldn't feel right calling them more than just seasons. So I personally, I put this one in C tier. It's good. It's a fun watch, but it's something that I recently, I saw as a kid, and I tried to go back about 2 years ago and rewatch, and it's just not nearly the same. It doesn't have the same impact as seeing a kid and seeing those the Bay Beast come out and attack. The dialogue isn't as great. The characters aren't as fun. It's a great beginner show for children, but as an adult now, it's very different. So here we have our first controversial pick. We've got Black Clover. So I know Black Clover is a lot of people's favorite anime. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that you have your reasons for liking it. I'm going to have some that you disagree with later on this list as well. But to me, I could not get through Black Clover. This is going to be the first one that I put in the couldn't watch more than 3 episodes. I've been convinced to go back later and watch the full thing and give it a more of a chance. But at the moment, I can't stand Asta. I think he's just worse Naruto to me. And the story just seems really bad so far. I think what happened was I was also in the middle of watching JoJo's during the time, and the gap between JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Black Clover was just too great. I had to drop it. I just could not do it to myself. Don't murder me on that one. That's just something I'll have to come back to later on. Next, we have Bleach. So Bleach is one of my all-time favorite shows. Bleach is one of the things that got me into anime. For when I started watching around the age of 13, 14 maybe. And oh my God, man, this was my favorite of the big 3 for a very long time. The big 3 consisting of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Oh my goodness, man. I'm a sucker for huge swords, for samurais, for all that. And the concepts in Bleach were just so much fun. Ichigo is such a great main character. He's not the typical dumb, strong guy. You know what I mean? He's just... it's just amazing. Definitely watch it. I'm super excited for the animated return, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the 1,000-Year Blood War, which, again, a testament to how great I thought this show was. It's one of the few manga that I had to go and read because I couldn't wait every week just for an episode to come out. You know what I mean? But that being, it's still not perfect. I think it falls victim to a lot of the longer-lasting shows have, where it's so much filler. It's so much. We'll be in the middle of a battle between Aizen and Ichigo, and all of a sudden, you know what I mean, we're flashing over to the characters at the beach and what happened 6 years ago with some fake captain or whatever story of the week. And that, to me, it brings down the overall enjoyment of the show because your excitement is, you know what I mean, going crazy, going ham, and then, let me get my camera out of here. All right, you're going ham, and all of a sudden, it's a huge letdown. So I think, speaking fairly, I would put it in the B tier. Although, personally, it's one of my favorites. If I had to rank it on how good it is, I couldn't lie and say that it's better than some of the other shows that we're going to see down on this list. All right, next on the list is Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is really cool. I remember I saw this show about 2-ish years ago. It was, no, maybe a little bit longer than that. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, to be honest. It's a good show. It speaks testaments because I can't really remember much of what goes on. I know I watched it fully through, and I watched the movie as well. And I remember enjoying it. Just nothing really stands out about it. So I think, speaking fairly, I know I had a good time watching it. Oops, sorry again. Sorry again. Mouse does not want to click it. If I'm having to judge off of that, I have to put it in C tier because nothing really jumps out to me. It's definitely a show that I would consider like recommending if you mean you're looking for something to watch you haven't seen already. Go for it. You're not going to be disappointed. But the characters are cool. You basically have a story between a priest and a demon, and their interactions are really fun. But it's all right. Next, we have Code Geass. Code Geass is phenomenal. I'm just going to be completely honest. It's absolutely phenomenal. The overall story, the characters, everything. It's not your typical shonen, which a lot of these are, where instead of battling, it's more like mind games. You know what I mean? And to me, that is so cool. Like I love Lelouch. She's just an amazing main character. C2 is awesome. Suzaku is awesome. Like I 100% would recommend anybody to watch the show if you have any interest in anime. Very good. I think I'm going to have to put it as our first S tier. It's just, without getting into spoilers, it's phenomenal. Absolutely. So next up, now we have Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is very fun. This is one of the shows where I watched it as a kid. Again, staying up late on the weekends watching Toonami. It would always come on around 2 a.m. So I would see episode to episode and never really understand what was happening in the story itself. But I always enjoyed it. It was always a good time. It was something I looked forward to when I was staying up, trying to hide from my mom, staying on the covers, watching my shows. It was awesome. It was a good time. I went back and watched it fully through a couple of years ago and regret nothing. I think that's another S tier show. Spike is just that boy, man. Absolutely. He is so cool. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Now I think I'm going to bring it down. Now we got Dragon Ball. So we've Okay, all right, sorry, I think I messed up that up. All right, so we have the Dragon Ball series. Now, this is something that's very near and dear to my heart, right? This is my opening. This is my show, man. Like when I was a kid, this is all I wanted to do, all I wanted to be. I wanted to grow up and beat Goku. Like I was invested, man. Goku, Gohan, Trunks, all of them, like shaped my childhood 100%. I had every Dragon Ball video game. I watched every show. I had all the VHSs. Like this was my thing. Dragon Ball GT to start. Well, I don't think it's as bad as most people like give it credit for. You know, I think honestly, I might have to create another row here. I'm just thinking about it, and I don't feel. Oh no! Whoops. Oh man, let's see. Can I? No. I want to create another row to be honest, because I think that I'm not doing this justice. But hey, all right, we'll figure that out later. I think I'll have to put GT in the C tier for now. I think it's not terrible. The baby arc is very good, and I love the concept of the Shadow Dragons. I just think the Shadow Dragon arc wasn't very well executed. Super Saiyan 4 is one of my favorites, like transformations in the entire series. I like the idea of trying to kind of nerf Goku in the beginning, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is like also like really awesome, but overall, the 17 arc doesn't really hold up that well. The dropping most of the characters, like obviously it gets the nickname Goku time. It's good, it's not great. You know, it's not. I shouldn't even say good. It's not bad, but it's certainly not great. You know what I mean? So next we have Dragon Ball, and I'm gonna be real with you. Dragon Ball's S tier. Like OG Dragon Ball, man. A lot of people like see Dragon Ball Z, and they always speak about Z, right? They speak about Z, and now they speak about Super. Go back and watch Dragon Ball if you haven't already. Dragon Ball is where the story started. Goku as a kid, man. That's where you get the comedy roots. You get the adventure sense. You get the action as well, man. The fights in Dragon Ball might even be better than Dragon Ball Z, dude. Like instead of just the high speed, you know what I mean, pow, just punch you in the face. You get the actual martial arts, and oh my god, man, it is so exciting. I can't. You can see I can't even stop clapping. Like it is so much fun. Oh my goodness! Like I love all the whole cast is amazing. We've got like the great moments. See why people love Bulma, Master Roshi, Krillin. You know what I mean? Like they all have their moments. Whereas in Z, it's mostly, you know what I mean. It starts off with the Saiyans and the Z fighters, and then it kind of just gets to the Goku and Vegeta, and you know what I mean. Gohan has his moments, but it's really just Goku. Now we have Super over here, and I don't. Super's hard for me because there's some moments in it where are really good, right? Like I love the Goku Black arc. I like the Tournament of Power arc. I have fun with the Universe 6 tournament. but on an overall arcing like series, it's not very good. If it wasn't Dragon Ball, if they had slapped some other name on this and just kept like the same storyline but with different characters, I probably wouldn't even be able to watch it. Like I'll be honest with you, the retelling of the two movies was super slow. The animation was bad. It wasn't very good. Like it's a C tier show, and it's saying something like putting it right here next to GT. I know a lot of people might not disagree with that, but it's not very good. Z though, Z goes up here, and Z goes in A tier. It has to, because all right, I look at it as this. Dragon Ball is a much older series than most of the rest of these, and it really set the precedent for a lot of the shows that we love today. So, like, if it wasn't for Dragon Ball, we wouldn't have Naruto, we wouldn't have One Piece, we wouldn't have all these characters. Like Dragon Ball, especially in the U.S., is like what made anime possible for us. It's so much fun. Again, like you could say your bad things about it. You could say there's too much filler, there's all this and that, but it all works, dude. Like it's just always an amazing watch. It's something that I've gone back and personally seen like four or five times, like all the way through. Read the manga. It's just owned every game. Like I still to this day I play Dragon Ball Fighters. I love it. I love the series. It'll always be near and dear to my heart. If you haven't seen it already, I highly recommend it. It's very easy. You know what I mean? I think it's most people's favorite and the only anime that they've ever seen. Something that all people can agree on. Absolutely phenomenal. Next up, we have Death Note. Death Note's really cool. So as we've said earlier, where most of the shows on here are very action paced. It's very like I said, the shonen aesthetic. Like it's funny because Death Note is shonen, but it's the very the punch him in the face. You know what I mean? Like blah blah blah. I'm stronger than you. Who's gonna be the best? Death Note is the complete opposite of that. Death Note is a mind game. It's chess in anime form. It's so good. Oh my goodness, man! The way Light thinks is just incredible. Without getting into any spoilers, just like I absolutely blow my mind, dude. Like it is so interesting. Every episode, seeing how is he going to do this? How is he not going to get caught? What's going to happen? If you haven't seen it already, 100% highly recommend. Go for it. Like you will not regret it. It's only 26 episodes, I believe, and it's a wild ride the entire time. This goes in my S tier for sure. These aren't in any order, by the way. I can maybe order them in a later thing where we kind of like rank from 1 down to whatever shows I've seen at that point. But for now, like I said, this just gets to join the higher elites of anime. Now we have Demon Slayer. So far throughout Demon Slayer, I've had an amazing time. I think it's so good. Obviously, there was all the hype between episode 19. Like one of the things that a little while ago on Twitter, right, almost broke Twitter as the anime community said, and it's very good. All right, I don't think it's as great as like say Ultra Instinct, which literally shut down. It's crazy. Like Ultra Instinct actually broke the internet. Like you couldn't get onto Crunchyroll to watch it. Like that was insane. But Demon Slayer is damn good, dude. Like the story is really fun. The characters, I like them. I will say I don't know how I feel totally about Tanjiro as the main character. I mean he's good. He's very bland. The action though is really great. The fighting scenes are phenomenal. Oh my goodness, man! Like the animation is amazing. And it's something that I want to keep an eye on. I know the next arc is going to be made into a movie, and I'm really excited for that to come out. Overall, I think, oh man, I might get shot on this one, but I think it's an A tier show. Like if it wasn't for like as far as the animation and again the story so far go, oh my god, mouse does not want to grab this. All right. As far as the animation of the show goes, I think it has potential to be one of the best. I know it's already like outsold some of the all-time greatest manga, and the story just came to a recent end. I just think sometimes, man, like characters mean a lot to me, and how much I can find myself invested in a character means a lot. So I think it's A tier for now. You know what I mean? Next, we have Digimon. So Digimon's, again, one of those shows where I thought for a really long time about whether I should break it up into each series. Because you have Adventure 2, you've got Tamers, Fusion Fighters, I forget what that last one's called. Or Frontier, I think it's just Frontier. Now you have the Tri series, whatnot. There's so much Digimon out there. So overall, like I had to just put it as one, because then we'd be here forever. We'd have just a bunch of meaningless categories. I like Digimon. For a while, I thought that it might be better than Pokemon, to be honest, but it really dropped off for me when Frontiers hit, which is weird because I think Frontiers is actually most people's favorites. I love Tamers. I love Adventures, like my favorite of them. It's a C tier show. Like it's something I went back and watched it a few years ago, and I still had fun with it. Like being an adult compared to seeing it as a kid, it was still good. It was still enjoyable. I wish that I could kind of watch it in the Japanese dub because I hear that's better and not as corny, but I still enjoy the jokes. I enjoy the moments, the characters, Kai and like everybody, man. They're awesome. Agumon's that boy. Gabumon is that boy. One of the openers to anime, I believe. All right, now we have Doctor Stone. So Doctor Stone is a show that just came out recently, and I was hooked every week. That was one of the very few shows over the past couple of years that I could not wait to watch the next episode. Like on the edge of my seat. Oh my goodness, every week. I started right before me and my girl went down to Cancun, and oh my lord, dude, I was invested from the very start. I'm holding it everything in me to not try to spoil myself for the next season by just reading the manga, but I know that Senku is that boy, yo. Oh my god, man! I know like something's gonna happen. I'm super excited to see how the War of the Stone Age goes. How like Tsukasa handles everything. Incredibly invested. Highly recommend. This is S tier. There's no way. There's no doubt in my mind. It's very different again. Like we don't have the superpowers really. We don't have the investing. It's just science. It's real science. And to me, that is so different. It is so cool. It's so much fun. Now we have our next controversial one. So Fairy Tail. I I could not watch Fairy Tail. I'll be real. I don't know what it was, man. I know a lot of people like it. I managed to watch 3 episodes, I believe, and I was just kind of over it. I don't know, man. That blue cat to me is just so annoying. The characters were just annoying. Like I don't know. I've heard very good things about it. I heard that it gets better. So it's another show like Black Clover where I'm going to go back and watch it later. But at the moment, man, it was not for me. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. Next we have Fully Cooley. Fully Cooley's dope. This is one where again, it's kind of hard to speak on because I don't remember it as much. I remember seeing it a lot on Toonami. I have to go back and rewatch it and watch it fully through. But I know I really enjoyed the hell out of the series. Speaking sort of similar to Blue Exorcist earlier, where I don't remember too much of it to really speak on why I love it, but I know I had a great time watching it. So I think I'm going to put it a little higher than Blue Exorcist. Oh my God, man. I'm gonna put it a little bit higher than Blue Exorcist and put it in the B tier for now. And maybe once we like revisit this list in a few weeks or a few months, when I've added some more shows under my belt, it'll go higher and I'll rewatch that. But for now, I think it's a solid B tier show. Now I've got Full Metal Alchemist. So I could have also again made this into 2003 Full Metal Alchemist and 2011, and Brotherhood. But oh my God, man, they're both phenomenal. Let's be real. This is an S tier show. I love the characters. I love Al and Edward. I love Captain freaking Roy Mustang, Lieutenant Mustang, Colonel Mustang. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I love the characters. I love the villains, man. Father is awesome. The stakes in this show are phenomenal. Like Scar is a crazy, awesome villain for the beginning, and his character development is like top tier. It is so good, dude. Like the way that the characters look at everything, having to change their dreams of chasing the Philosopher's Stone to really like taking what's right at hand. Oh, it's just phenomenal, man. If you haven't seen it already, it's many people's favorite anime of all time for a reason. It's really, really good. Haikyuu is one that I'm I'm in the middle of, and I really like it so far. I question putting it on this list because I haven't finished it yet, but it's not in the couldn't watch more, right? I'm on episode 8, I believe. I'm watching it with my girl, and I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes. Because I haven't seen too much of it. Again, I think I'm gonna put it in the B tier where I enjoy it, but I don't want to gas it too high and put it up here. So I'm gonna leave it in the average, right? I think this is a good average point. Next we have Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is S tier. Like no questions asked. Hunter x Hunter is debatably my favorite show of all time, man. I love this series. I love going to Killio's friendship. I love Kurapika and Leru. Like the way the two split off. Hisoka is such a powerful and mysterious villain. The Phantom Troop is phenomenal. If you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, do yourself a favor and start watching it. Start binging it right now, man. You will not regret it. I promise you. Oh my goodness, I could go on talking about Hunter x Hunter for hours on hours. It's amazing. All right. Next up we have Inuyasha. Inuyasha again, back to the old days. I've said it multiple times, man. My Toonami adventures. Inuyasha was one of those shows, man. It was. I loved watching this show at 4 in the morning when I was supposed to be asleep for hours. Oh my goodness, man! I love the Windscar. I love just the characters like Sango, Kagome. Like it was such an interesting watch, man. Inuyasha is awesome. Even like the boy Shippo, man, Sesshomaru as well, man. I'm really looking forward to the secondary season show. Right, I know that it's about their children, and as much as I don't really like spin-offs like that, like we'll get to that a little bit more with Naruto. Um, I think I'll enjoy it. I mean, I'll give it a try. I'll say that much. This is, phew, if I had a, oh man, it's tough. I think I had to put it in B tier, but if I was ranking these in order, it'd be on the upper echelon of B tier. Like it's right below A. Again, it's really good. It's just I don't think it's perfect. Man, I really wish I had a B plus because I'd probably put it in the B plus like A minus tier, but it's fine. All right, next up we have Hajime no Ippo, and this is really cool. This was the first sporting anime that I've ever seen about boxing. Man, I love Ippo. I think it's really really fun. Um, what's it? I think is the other person in the gym is Takun. I can't pronounce that name. I'm not even gonna try. Uh, it's a really good show. I know the manga had gone on for over like 1,000 chapters, really, really long. I kind of want to watch it. As far as like the anime goes, at least that what I've seen, I can only found like, I guess like 300 chapters of it worth around that area, and it was really, really good watch. Like every episode was really fun. He was just that he's a monster, dude. Like I don't know, I never thought that I would get that into boxing anime until I watched the show, and now I'm looking forward to if they ever come out with a full story to definitely give that a watch. To me, this is A tier. Uh, no, I can't justifiably say that's better than Inuyasha, so I'm going to put it B tier. It's another one where I think it would be in B plus, in B plus A minus territory. But I can't say that it's better than Inuyasha. Now we have JoJo's, and I'm starting to think, man, S tier is S tier is getting big, dude. JoJo's is S tier. Ignore this photo because this is of part one. JoJo's part one is my least favorite. If I was going and ranking these individual parts, part one would be it'd probably be really close to being couldn't watch more than 3 episodes. I had to text my friends and ask him when does the show get good. Like I was genuinely not having a good time with part one. But as soon as I got through it, part two is one of my all-time favorite series. Part three is really good. I'll just go ahead and say these out loud, right? Part two would probably be S tier. Part three, very good, very very poorly paced though. I'd probably put it in B. Same with part four, and then part five again. We come back and we're S tier. Oh my goodness, man! But part five is so good. Part two is so good. Like they would be upper echelon S tier. So I think on the overall arcing, I have to keep it up here, man. Just because I love that series so much. I'm super excited for season 6 to come out, and it's another thing that I'm really really on the cusp of reading that manga, just because I need to know what happened. Next up, we've got My Hero Academia, and I love My Hero. Despite what a lot of people say, I think My Hero is so good. Like it's so much fun, man. All the characters are really interesting so far. I mean, there's a couple that I really want to get fleshed out more, and I would love to see like Coda do something, or you know what I mean, like just something like the lesser known characters of Class 1A. I'm sure that we'll get that soon. I don't read the manga. I've been spoiled on a couple things. Like I won't ruin it for you guys, but I know that like the next season is going to be really hype. Season 4 was a bit of a disappointment. If honestly, if I was making this video last year, I'd probably put My Hero in S tier, just based off the last fight of season 3. It's just solely off of that. It'd probably be S tier. For now, I think it's a solid A tier. Again, it's not like saying that it's bad by any means. It is incredible. It's not saying that like I don't like it as much as these shows. I still look forward to seeing it every single week. It's just it was up here. It was up here, and now it's starting to come down here and like a plateau off. You know what I mean? So we'll see how season 5 goes. And again, once we come back to the list, we might be rearranging things. So Mob Psycho A tier for sure. It's very close. I think this would probably be like S minus A tier. I don't know. I don't love the jokes as much as I thought I would. Mob Psycho is really fun though. It's a very good series. It's definitely like again something that I would recommend if you haven't seen it already. A very very good watch. I honestly I think I'm still in the middle of it because I know I finished season 1, so I think season 2 is where people say it gets really really good. But I'll get to it and readjust my list on another day. So now we've got Naruto. Naruto is again another member of the big three. Very very close to my heart. I think I had to split this into Naruto and Shippuden just because the series, the arcs and the tones are just so different. You know what I mean? Regular Naruto has to go up here in A tier. it'd be A plus for sure. It would for sure be A plus because it's so good, man. It's so good. Like the beginning arcs, I don't know one like any series that just gets you captivated. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. They get you captivated as quickly as Naruto does. Like you just jump right in, and all of a sudden you're facing S class ninjas, and you know what I mean. The danger is there, man. You really get immersed into this ninja world, and I think that's so cool. The Chunin exams, one of my all time favorite arcs in any anime, is in a phenomenal story. Like seeing Naruto, this outcast kid, grow, and you know what I mean. Obviously, be able to gain those friends and those relationships. It's a memorable series for sure. Shippuden is a little worse. Um, this is probably my bias to be honest, but I love Shippuden when it starts. It starts slow and then it really picks up and it really like captures like that height of the series and makes you just again fall in love with the cast and the characters. But then after that, towards the ending, it just drops off to me, man. The war arc started off so cool, and then just the way the series turned at the end, it really bothers me, man. If it ended after Pain, it'd probably be up in the A tier as well, right next to its predecessor. But oh man, I did not like it. I'll be real. All right. And Boruto, we're not even gonna mention Boruto. Boruto is below couldn't watch this. Like I had zero interest in watching that series. It's just bad. You know what I mean? And I don't like it. Next we have One Piece. So One Piece is a tough one for me to rank here. I love One Piece. If you know me, get to know me, like I said, I will show One Piece forever. Like this is my favorite series of all time. I can talk about it for days. As I said earlier, with shows like Hunter x Hunter and with what it was like My Hero and all those, where like the cast is very important to me, and that relationship that the main character seems to build with everybody, like it's so great, man. Like I love the way Luffy goes about his life. Like he just wants to have fun, he just wants to be free, he wants to enjoy it. He treats everybody like they're a friend, like part of his little family, you know what I mean? Like he meets a person and they're not a stranger to him, like they're just someone, there's a friend that he hasn't met yet. And like to me that's awesome. Like he is so pure, and it just gives you so much love for the character, as well as then the story itself. Like it has such a sense of adventure, man. Like it's so fun to watch and to read. But it falls into that trap that I had mentioned earlier with Bleach and with Dragon Ball and this long series, where the filler and the pacing at times gets so bad. Don't get me wrong, the beginning of One Piece is really good, and again, I would definitely recommend getting into the series. To me, I'm more of a manga reader than an anime watcher, but I still love it. I still have to put it, I think, in. This is rough, man. I think I have to put it in the B tier because part one is so good, man. It'd be B plus for sure. But I just, after seeing like some of the moments post time skip, I'm not a fan of it. I don't look forward to watching it. I look forward to reading it. I don't look forward to watching it. If I was ranking this as a series overall, just like the manga and the anime, it's S plus tier. Like it's my favorite of all time for a reason. But as of right now, just the anime itself, it's bad. You know what I mean? This we have One Punch Man. One Punch Man is really cool, man. Like I was just be real with you. I love this show. Season 2 dropped off a bit, but season 1 was so epic, man. Like it's just funny. Like you really get the like I think they call it more of a like a webtoon, but oh my god, man, it's just so much fun to watch. I love Saitama. I love the characters. He's so funny. This one's definitely an A tier. Again, season two's drop off kind of brings it down a little bit. If it wasn't for that, I think we'd probably have it up closer to the ranks of these S tier guys. But it's definitely a phenomenal watch. Go watch it if you haven't. Now we got Promise Neverland. Now this is another series that I watched recently, and oh my lord, this show captures you on the very first episode. I love it. I love it so much. It's only one season so far. Season 2, I don't know when the actual date is to release, but it's so good, man. And like just, I don't want to spoil anything, but these kids are so smart, and oh my goodness, man, I just wish them the best of luck. To me, this is A tier. It's 100% A tier. Oh man, so Rurouni Kenshin now, man. Oh my god, this show brings me back, dude. I love Kenshin. As I said earlier, where I'm a big fan of swords and the sword fighters, the way they battle it out in shows for sure. I love this series. I think it's easy A tier. It's tough because I don't remember as much about it, right? I rewatched it a while ago. Something I probably have to go back to because, you know what I mean, just short term memory. But I know that every time I've checked this out, like the pacing isn't that amazing in this anime, but like I said, it takes a little while to get to like
from arc to arc, I feel. But it's just such a good show, man. Such a good read, or not read, watch. Sailor Moon to me is B tier. Uh, Honestly, no. Sailor Moon's C tier. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I know why other people like it. I just could not get into it that much. I don't think it's as bad as these, but it's another show that I grew up watching. And like I said, Toonami every night when I came home from school, from daycare, it was always on. And I'll say that I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like make or break. I just noticed that our tier list doubled. So I'm only going to be ending right here at Yu Yu Hakusho. So here we go. Sword Art Online. Now this show, oh my god! From the first episode, I thought this was it, dude. I thought this was the show of my dreams. Being a big like an avid gamer, right? Like virtual reality is something that you always want, and the concept of being trapped in a video game is so terrifying and yet so like compelling and awesome. Like, oh my god, dude, I had to get invested in that. But I think the pacing again is a bad show. Like I really was looking forward to like one episode being about like every floor, you know what I mean? Like kind of dragging it out. And instead of doing that, they kind of rush through it, and it ends a lot quicker than you would expect. And to me, that kind of kills it because the follow up after that is just not good. It doesn't hold that same impact. The stakes aren't as high, and it's really, really disappointing. Based off that, like if it was just season one, it's S tier, like for fact. But because of the the significant drop off, like I said, I think it's C tier, man. Like it's crazy the difference. Like Gun Gale is up there too. Gun Gale was pretty decent, but nothing compares to that first season, man. Everything since then was just downhill, like terribly. It was really bad. All right, next we've got something really cool to me. Soul Eater, man. Soul Eater is one of those shows where once I watched it, right? Long story short, the show differs from the author's like original view, and it's like Full Metal Alchemist, the 2003 version, where it peters off because I guess the animation series like caught up to where the manga was at. So instead of like waiting to release it, like we have our seasonal shows now, they just kind of kept going on and kind of like took the base of what the author was intending and made up their own story. It's still very good. I hate the ending. I hate the ending with a passion. But I love Soul Eater, man. I loved watching it. It's something that like I was so invested in after watching it that I went and read the manga. And if it was an overall series thing, Soul Eater is A tier. At very least, it's A tier. But because like we're just ranking the anime now, I feel very weird to put it any higher than B tier. It's just whoopsie. It's just not very good. Like the ending it disappoints me so bad. Like I love the arc core. I love Death Junior. I love freaking my boy Black Star. Like it's definitely something I would recommend you watch. Very good series, but read the manga, man. The manga will save you so much time and it's so much better. Now I've got Yu-Gi-Oh! I actually intended for both Yu-Gi-Oh! And GX to be here, and I don't know why. But I guess because reasons, it's not. So if I was ranking regular Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's solid B tier. I mean, it's better than it's 100% better than in Pokemon and Beyblade. Like I don't know, man. The stakes, even though it's just a card game, it's crazy how high the stakes get, and it's just a fun watch, man. It's really fun. Like the mind game, seeing how like Yugi's gonna get out of all his predicaments. Same with Jaden in the second season. I think GX is a little bit better than the original. So just for the overall thing, I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's really fun to see. I don't know how to explain it. It's something like I never would have gotten into that card game if it wasn't for the series, and it's one of like those things that I hold kind of near and dear to my heart now. Like I still play Duel Links. I still play. I would play the card game more. I still have my collection of the cards. Like I was invested, man. It was supposed to do a job, and it did it. Now we're back here to Yu Yu Hakusho. So Yu Yu Hakusho, man, the golden child. This is my shit. Like I'm sorry, oh my goodness, this is my show. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. S tier for sure. Like no doubts in my mind. This is my favorite cast out of any of these shows. Like I love that core group of four. They just mean so much to me. It's something I watched growing up. It's again one of those shows where I went back and watched it 4, 5, 6 times, and am honestly intending to do it again soon. It is just phenomenal. If you haven't seen it already, it's written by the same person as Hunter x Hunter, Yoshihiro Togashi. Oh my god, dude! I think it's only 100-ish episodes, 100% worth the time. It is phenomenal. S tier show, and that concludes our list. This is all the anime that I've seen that I can remember. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this actually. I'm really looking forward to again starting the new shows. I want to do about 3 episodes a week, and just kind of like compile them down to like one video. They won't be nearly as long as this one is, but I'm looking forward to it. And again, coming back to this list at a later time and kind of reviewing it and changing it and see how like the interactions unfold. You know what I mean? Like what I consider better might drop a tier because it just doesn't hold up. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for stopping by. I mean, clicking on this video. I had a lot, like I keep saying it, I had a lot of fun making it. If you enjoyed it and you're excited to see like what we see next, and you have any like show recommendations, please, you know, what I mean, leave them in the comment section down below. Hit the subscribe button, much appreciated. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Peace.